Did you know that over 1 in 3 Americans have a distorted view of where they stand financially? And it's even worse for Gen Z and millennials. Over 40% of them feel this way. Most people are either overestimating or severely underestimating their financial position compared to others their age. Today, I'm revealing the shocking truth about average net worth by age, numbers that most financial advisors won't openly discuss. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand financially compared to your peers and have a crystal-clear roadmap to dramatically improve your position. How net worth is calculated. Now, before we get to the surprising age-based figures, let's make sure we're working with the same definition of net worth. This is the foundation that makes everything else make sense. Your net worth isn't about your income. It's about what you own versus what you owe. Think of it as your financial scorecard that reveals the truth behind your money habits. First, we have assets, which consist of everything of value you own: cash, investments, real estate, vehicles, and personal belongings. Then there are liabilities, all the debts you owe: mortgages, student loans, credit cards, and any other financial obligations. Here's the simple formula that cuts through all the complexity. Your net worth is equal to total assets minus total liabilities. This single number tells you more about your financial health than your income, your job title, or the car you drive. It's the ultimate financial truth teller, revealing whether you're building wealth or just maintaining an expensive lifestyle. Now let's uncover where Americans stand by age group, and I promise, some of these numbers will shock you. Net worth under 35. For those under 35, the median worth sits at just $39,000. Before we proceed, let me clarify. This figure represents the midpoint of all net worths in this age group, which means half of households have a net worth below this amount and half have more. This number reveals a critical truth. Most young Americans are starting their wealth-building journey with significant disadvantages. Student loans averaging $38,883, rising housing costs, and stagnant entry-level wages create a perfect storm that keeps many financially underwater during their early careers. But here's what most financial experts won't tell you. This early stage is in fact your greatest financial advantage. Thanks to the power of compound interest, every dollar invested in your 20s and early 30s is worth approximately 10 to 15 times more than dollars invested in your 50s. If you're under 35, here's your wealth-building game plan. Start saving immediately, even if it's just $100 monthly. At 8% returns, that modest amount grows to over $150,000 in 30 years without adding a penny more. Meanwhile, invest aggressively in your skills and education. Nothing will boost your net worth faster than increasing your earning potential. And please, avoid high-interest consumer debt like it's poisonous, because increasing your earning potential is. Every dollar you're paying in credit card interest is robbing your future self of potentially thousands in compound growth. But what happens next might surprise you. Age 35 to 44. As we enter the 35 to 44 age bracket, the median net worth jumps dramatically to $135,300. This huge increase represents a financial awakening that happens as people advance in their careers and begin serious wealth building. Why such a dramatic leap? 3 key factors drive this growth: career advancement leading to higher earnings, home ownership, building equity, growing investment portfolios gaining momentum. However, lurking beneath these positive trends is a concerning reality. This is also when lifestyle inflation hits hardest. Many in this age group increase their spending proportionally with their income, upgrading homes, vehicles, and lifestyles, often canceling out their financial progress. For those in the 35 to 44 age bracket, your financial strategy needs to shift into higher gear. First, capture every single penny of your employer's 401k match. Skipping this is literally leaving free money on the table, potentially hundreds of thousands by retirement. Next, it's time to seriously diversify your investments beyond just your retirement accounts. Spread your growing capital across different asset classes, including low-cost index funds, real estate, and perhaps some dividend-generating stocks to protect against market volatility. Lastly, if you haven't already, build that emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. This isn't just financial advice, it's peace of mind insurance that prevents you from derailing your long-term investment strategy when life inevitably throws unexpected challenges your way. The decisions you make during this decade set the trajectory for the rest of your financial life, and what comes next could change everything about your future. Age 45 to 54. For the 45 to 54 age group, the median net worth climbs to $247,200. This represents a critical building typically accelerates or stalls completely, depending on the financial foundation laid in previous decades. At this stage, Americans face a financial fork in the road. Many have paid down significant debt and see investment growth accelerating. Others feel the squeeze of competing financial priorities: college for children, caring for aging parents, and catching up on delayed retirement savings. This is also when the wealth gap begins to widen dramatically, with an average net worth of around $1 million. If you're between 45 and 54, this is your financial power decade, so use it wisely. Start by completely reassessing your financial goals with laser focus on your retirement timeline. You still have enough runway to course correct, but not enough to postpone serious planning any longer. This is also the ideal window to investigate long-term care insurance options before premiums become prohibitively expensive. This often overlooked protection can preserve your nest egg from the devastating costs of extended healthcare needs that have bankrupted countless retirees. Additionally, schedule quarterly portfolio reviews either independently or with your advisor. At this stage, small optimizations in your investment allocation can translate to tens of thousands in additional retirement funds, making regular monitoring non-negotiable. But wait until you see what happens next. Age 55 to 64. As we approach the pre-retirement years, 55 to 64, median net worth reaches $364,500. This represents the typical American's peak earning and saving period. This number might seem impressive, but here's the shocking reality. It's dramatically insufficient for a comfortable retirement. Financial experts estimate you'll need 10 to 12 times your annual income saved by retirement. For the average American earning $60,000 annually, that's $600,000 to $720,000, far above the actual average. At this crucial pre-retirement stage, your home equity typically reaches its peak value, while your retirement accounts should be approaching their target levels. Though for most Americans, these accounts remain considerably underfunded. Meanwhile, healthcare costs begin consuming an increasingly larger percentage of your budget, creating a financial squeeze right when you should be maximizing your final wealth accumulation push. What I'm about to show you next could completely change your retirement outlook, and it might be uncomfortable to hear. Age 65 to 74. For those aged 65 to 74, median net worth peaks at approximately $409,900. This represents the culmination of a lifetime of financial decisions, both good and bad. At this pivotal stage, most Americans have transitioned from earning active income to living primarily off their investments, pensions, and Social Security benefits, creating an entirely new financial paradigm. Healthcare expenses typically increase dramatically during these years, often consuming 15 to 20% of retirees' budgets, a shock for those who failed to plan accordingly. Meanwhile, managing sustainable withdrawal rates becomes absolutely crucial. The difference between withdrawing 4% versus 6% annually from your nest egg can literally mean the difference between leaving an inheritance and running out of money in your lifetime. This is when the consequences of earlier financial decisions become impossible to ignore. Those who prioritize saving and investing throughout their working years enjoy financial freedom, while others face difficult compromises and potential dependence on family or government assistance. But there's still more ahead that might surprise you, and frankly, it's something most financial advisors won't tell you directly. Age 75 and beyond. For those 75 and older, the median net worth declines to $335,600, reflecting the natural drawdown of assets in retirement. The tragic reality, is that nearly 40% of Americans in this age group depend almost entirely on Social Security benefits, which average just $1,657 monthly, barely enough to cover basic housing and food costs in most regions. This forced financial constraint often means sacrificing comfort, independence, and dignity during what should be their golden years. Many find themselves making impossible choices between medication, adequate housing, or even proper nutrition, all because of financial decisions, or lack thereof, made decades earlier. Now that we've covered the sometimes harsh reality across all age groups, here's the game-changing strategy you've been waiting for. The exact approach that can help you break free from these averages regardless of your starting point. How to increase your net worth. 1. Budget wisely. The foundation of wealth building isn't earning more. It's keeping more of what you earn. Creating a system that automatically directs your money toward wealth building is far more powerful than relying on willpower alone. Implement the 50-30-20 rule. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% towards saving and investing. If that seems impossible right now, start with even 1% and increase it gradually. 2. Invest early and often. The most powerful force in wealth building isn't your income, it's time in the market. Starting early with smaller amounts dramatically outperforms waiting to invest larger sums later. Consider this: $300 monthly invested at 8% from age 25 grows to approximately $1 million by age 65. Wait until 35 to start, and you'll need to invest $700 monthly to reach the same goal. The early investor contributes $144,000 total, while the late starter contributes $252,000 to reach the same outcome. 3. Educate yourself financially. Financial literacy is the ultimate competitive advantage in wealth building. Every hour spent improving your financial knowledge potentially returns thousands in practical application. Start with fundamental books that emphasize timeless principles rather than get-rich-quick schemes. Understanding concepts like compound interest, tax efficiency, and proper asset allocation puts you ahead of 90% of Americans. 4. Network with financial professionals. You don't have to navigate this journey alone. Building relationships with knowledgeable financial professionals can provide personalized guidance that accelerates your progress. A qualified financial advisor doesn't just help you pick investments. They help you optimize your entire financial picture, from tax strategies to estate planning and everything in between. 5. Set clear financial goals. Without specific targets, financial success remains frustratingly elusive. Define exactly what net worth you're aiming for and by when, then break that goal into monthly actionable steps. Remember, what gets measured gets improved. Track your net worth regularly and celebrate incremental milestones along the way to maintain motivation during your wealth-building journey. So, there you have it. The unfiltered truth about average net worth by age, and exactly how to exceed these numbers in your own financial life. Here's what happens next. Most people watching this video will feel motivated for about 48 hours, then slip right back into their old financial habits. But I believe you're different. You are part of that rare group that implements what they learn. If you're serious about building wealth that completely breaks free from these averages, hit that subscribe button right now and smash that bell icon so you never miss our weekly wealth-building strategies. Then drop a comment below with your current age and biggest financial challenge. Remember, financial mediocrity is a choice, not a sentence.